Hello, and welcome back to the Atelier Nekozuki live stream. We have another new view, and actually I quite like it. Basically, you are on the corner of the desk right now. My name's Katie, by the way, in case you haven't watched before. Anyway, it's on the corner of the desk so that when we do actually have fabric in behind the table, it's not going to be a big deal to like pull it off the thing. I should actually be doing some other work as well, but for now we're going to focus on this. Okay, good. YouTube is like, you are live, and I'm like, yay, that's good. No, whatever, let's just take a photo. Brains and fingers apparently are not communicating correctly. Correctly. Share, copy. The live stream. I don't know. It's a live stream, not a live stream. Thank you. There. Okay. I am like tired. So I had my 10-mile run yesterday. Went really well. I PB'd on it apparently, even over what I did in Canmore last week. Now I did not have Strava set up when I ran Calgary, so I don't know if I would have PB'd versus that, but I did PB versus what I've been training and Canmore and blah 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 blah. So I'm gonna take it because that's pretty awesome still. And then we went for lunch with my friend, and then we went and we did the kiddo's birthday party that the children were invited to, and then cat, don't be such a jerk. Oh, dude. I know. You're so sucky today. What's up? Like, so sucky today. I love you too. Yeah, we went and we did all the things. Moral of the story, or TLDR, we did all the things. But I was really happy with how my performance on the run yesterday. It was a 10-miler, which means it was about 5K shorter than a half. I kind of wish it had just been a half. But the medal's really cool. I forgot. I was going to bring it down and show it to you guys. Bring it down before I hang it up. But anyway, it was, so the Wild Run is in support of the Calgary Zoo, or like to bring awareness to fundraising supports for the Calgary Zoo, I guess might be the better description. And this year was the polar bear, and the medal is super cool. It's like slightly transparent in areas, or opaque, I guess might be the better description. And as we all know, I run for beer and bling, and I think that medal is my like second favorite medal this year, after like the set that we got at Run Disney. So very happy with that. Found out that a woman that I went to school with, I kind of went to school with her, but mostly I ushered, so I worked with her at school. We both ushered at the university theaters during our university careers. And so she's just started running as well. Funnily enough, she's half Japanese, and looking to go do Nagoya in 2026. She's trying to convince some like people to go. I'm like, well, if you don't convince anyone, then like you should come and run Kyoto with me, because that would be fucking amazing, to be honest. So anyway, and actually, so yesterday's time for the 10-miler, when you do the equivalencies, puts me at a sub-6 marathon. Now, barely sub-6, but a 5:56. So I'm like, well, that's that's good enough. It's sub 6. Of course, this isn't going to be proved or anything like that, but whatever, we'll get there. It was 1 minute faster than what I ran the marathon at in January. Of course, that's average pace, so who knows what I actually run a marathon at right now, but it does put me in line as well for like a 2:45 half, and that's kind of what my goal is for Calgary next year. Is in May I want to do a 2.5 to 2:45 half. I want a 2.5 for proof of time for Disney. But yeah, just like anywhere in there, because I think a 2:45 leads to like a 5:45 marathon or something like that, because it's like it's double your longest distance plus like 10% typically is a good like jumping off point for figuring out what your longer distances would be. The one I saw the other day was actually, I think, a little bit better, even in that it was like, if this is your pace, this is your, like, if you're over this pace, then do this plus this. And if you're under this pace, then do this plus this sort of thing, which is, I think, a really good way to do it. Yeah, so I'm super happy. Race season is over. That does not mean I'm not still training, but race season is over, so that's also kind of nice. So yeah, next up will be, well, okay, so I want to try and run the 5K and St. Patrick's Day in March, but they haven't opened anything up for that. And it's one of those situations where I'm going to sign up like last minute, because March is such a shit show. Such a mixed bag of weather. But it's like, it can either be like last year, gorgeous, I wish I had run it, or it can be icy and snowy and -20. And so it's like, I'm going to base that decision on whether I run that one or not on weather forecast like that week, because I think the last sign up day is like the Wednesday before or something like that. And that'll be my 5K test to see. I'm gonna try and do some like speed work over the winter to like, because the goal will be that I want to try and get my training runs, the base runs, to a 35-minute 5K. Because that's so much more approachable than having to be like, all right, this is 45 minutes plus warm up and cool down and all of that just to get a 5K in. So for a training run, my current fast pace for the 5 post kids is like 37 minutes or something like that, I think. So still pretty pleased, but I would prefer it to be under that. All right, Kat. Those are active projects. You can come sit over here. This is unactive. He's like, what? Why are you betraying me like this? Oh, okay, yeah, these were all. So these are going to be some of the, we're going to do needle books and notions pouches and the like. This is, I think, actually a drawstring channel for the strawberry bag that's missing its drawstring channel. So I'm going to pop it back here and hope for the best that we find the other one. And then lining. I don't know what's up with some of this stuff. I think that was intended to maybe be a Kato. Bunnies, whatever. Notions pouches and needle stashers and notions pouches and needle stashers and extra fabric. Needle books, and then that is a pile of just new fabrics, basically. So what I'm debating right now is, I think what I got to do is I should go in. We need to iron all of these ones that I've like pulled apart. What I'm thinking is we should iron everything, and then we'll go in and select all the tote bag fabric, and then we'll come back and we'll do all the cuts. What's this? I love how I just organized all of this and now I'm like, what's this? And this, and this, and this. Ugh. Like keeping track of my own brain. It's hard enough some days. Okay, those look like notions pouches and needle stashes as well. Dun, 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 dun. We're gonna keep this aside because I'm pretty sure that there is actually a bag of this fabric, so I just want to make sure that we have enough of everything. These also look like they're intended for something. I don't know what. Whatever. Okay, back up there with you all. I found like a pile behind the actual sewing table when I went to move the camera around, and now I'm like, hello? Why? Poof. I know for sure some of it is needle books because we did work on those the other day. Now, we're just going to kind of, it's like, why are you back there? And it's like, as I go to shove everything out of my way so that we can get to ironing. Because, you know, why would I tidy up? I did actually tidy up. I just didn't clear the cutting table off well enough, apparently. Sorry. I'm in a mood today, and I don't, well, I kind of know why. But it, like, hit after lunch, and now I'm like, grump dump. Okay, 1 second. I need to grab the actual ironing board, so we're going to clip you. Sorry. We're going to clip you up here. Be ready for your full body spa experience again. Actually, it shouldn't be too bad because you're like up and above today instead of right down against the board. Hello, Wendy. How are you today? We're getting set up for this repurposing of the embroidery bags. So we've gotten Cat. He's like, gets so offended if I move fabric out from under him. And it's like, dude, you're the one that's seen on my fabric. What do you think pays for your expensive food, Cat? Well, Dallas does, but yeah, everything is opened. What we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to iron everything, and then I will choppy chop. I don't know what's going on right now. Hi. Yes, I know you're a pretty boy. Do you want me to set up your pillow with the heating pad? Is that what's up? He's like, no, I want wet food. Not this shitty dry food you've been insisting I eat. Yeah, you should distrust it. I'm good. I'll be good. I'm just on the first day of my period, and so everything's just my race went really well yesterday though, so that was nice. I like PB'd in it, so although I do wish it had actually just been an extra 5K and been like a proper half marathon. So next year though, I'm only going to do the 4K because I would have been in and out so fast. And the 4K was in the most interesting part, which was running through the zoo. And I'm going to take my eldest on it. It's also going to depend on like if that run coincides with like Knit City dates or not. They just announced Knit City dates for Vancouver. It is officially coming back to Vancouver end of September 2025. If that was anyone's concern, I'd been leaning towards, I think that the one thing that they didn't make clear last year is the fact that like and because I assume this was always the plan, is that they were going to alternate Calgary and Vancouver. And so they've just like announced officially that that's what's happening. But I think that that was one of the big concerns, is like it's going and it's going to be gone forever. So that is not the case. It'll be there next year at the PNE Forum again. So same bat place, better bat weekend. I tried to book my hotels today, because then I'm like, hey, you may as well book them now, but the dates haven't even opened up for booking the hotel yet. I'm like, all right. I will not be staying at the Atrium. I'll be staying in Burnaby, like I have the last couple of... Oh, okay. Well, whatever. Yes, all right. Apparently this will be the interior, and that will be the pocket fabric. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, so good news all around, I think. Because, of course, it should have been Knit City weekend, like this weekend or next weekend, depending on how it like all kind of falls in the calendar. It'll be next weekend next year. So this next year, all hands on deck. Please make sure you come and entertain me. I'll be in the final throes of Knit City prep. Hopefully not doing 100 small box bags in like a week, but you never know. I will never say never, but you never know. I have also had confirmation of Peace Fibre Festival, which is the end of April, and they did say that they'll be happy to have me back. It's the last Sunday of April. So the current... Oh, I got an email back Heritage Park, actually. But the current schedule is... That is currently confirmed. Ugh. Is Fibre Shindig, obviously on October 19th. We knew that already. And then it will be Polka Dot Creek in January, which we did last year, or this year. It already feels like last year. It's like, after doing that race yesterday, I was like, it feels like it has been years since we were in Disney doing Run Disney. And then I don't know what the rest, like February and March, are going to look like. But January I'll have Polka Dot Creek. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. I'm going to chat to Caroline and find out if we're doing anything in April again, because I think that was actually really good for both of us. And I've got a few things up my sleeve that I can't really talk about right now because they're super secret. And that was spelled S-E-K-R-I-T. Secret. But they're coming up pretty rapidly here too, and I'm excited about them as well. So yeah, and then April will be Peace Fibre Festival. July will hopefully be another pancake breakfast. I can't imagine Caroline's not going to be doing that one. And then Omatsuri in August, as long as they'll have me. Oh, right, I'm going to apply for Otafest in May again as well, and we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll get in. I got to put that in the calendar to get my application in. It's so competitive, though, that it's going to be... It'll probably be a while until I get in, but we'll keep trying. That's all I can do. And then that one would be in May as well. It's like Mother's Day weekend. And then yeah, so August will be Omatsuri. And then it'll just be like all hands on deck for Knit City prep in September. And then we'll go from there. I should email Heritage Park back right now. But the iron is hot. And then the race season next year is going to be a little bit less taxing, at least at the front. So it's like I'm in this current like kind of like off season / get fit kind of stuff. Planning planning to do like a last minute sign up for St. Patrick's Day in March. I will not race in January. I don't think there is even any races well, there's definitely no races in Calgary in January. I don't even know if there's like races out in like Vancouver area in January, to be honest. Because like it's still like, yeah, it doesn't freeze very often out there, but it's not like it's like pleasant weather either. At least for someone from like the prairies who's like, it's a dry cold, and we regularly get the Chinooks, which come in and warm it up anyway, and like all of these other factors. Sunshine, that's the big one for me, because it can be minus 40 outside, but if the sun is shining, it sure as hell doesn't feel like it. Anyway, yeah, so race season kind of looks like a last minute sign up for St. Patrick's Day, and that'll be a test of my 5K. And then the big one will be Calgary Half Marathon in May, end of May. Road race in July. And then it's just, again, all hands on deck for Royal Victoria Marathon, which is Thanksgiving weekend in October, which is like, so mid-October. And then it'll be head back down for Kyoto training. So I am terrible and have been like still playing with the idea of going to Japan. I'm like, ugh, when am I not? Let's just acknowledge that. When am I not? But I'm like, I realized that one of the temple markets I do, because I've always stuck to like the 21st and 25th for the temple markets, but then I was like, wait, the one that's held at Toji has a like first Sunday of the month market. I'm like, the first Sunday of the month market lines up with one of Dallas's weeks off in February. I'm like, or it's really tempting to go in July or June, actually, still for my birthday. But I'm kind of like, February would be good because the main thing that I'd be stocking on would be kimono and obi. And that would give me a lot of time to process for Omatsuri as well. Well, not a lot, but it would give me time to process for Omatsuri. 6 months, that's enough time. I don't think it's in the cards, but I'm like, We'll see. You'll know. It might end up just being a last minute booking or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Yeah, so that's kind of, it's like the next 18 months pretty much more or less planned out. As of current health, physically, mentally, blah, 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 blah. Children hopefully not getting too sick. It's part of why I'm training for, instead of going and running like Calgary Marathon, I'm going to go run Victoria Marathon, is that I can do a really good training session in the summertime because the kids won't be sick. Although it's really okay. It is tempting to do Calgary, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to do Calgary. Oh, right, and then Vibrations. That was the other one in August. As long as it doesn't back up on Omatsuri weekend. I will do Omatsuri over Vibrations because the cost expenditure will be much lower for Omatsuri versus Vibrations. Vibrations is out on Vancouver Island. I've heard really good things about it. It would be a slightly different market from Vancouver because here's the thing. Vancouver is expensive to access even from Victoria because of the ferry cost and everything like that. So but yeah, and of course that all depends on like acceptance and everything like that too. So and then I guess maybe in March of 2026 I'll sleep. I think that's a good plan. Not even 19 months from now anymore, right? So what is it, September? I keep saying it's like 18. Oh, I guess it is 18 months. I was like, oh, it's only 15 months. But no, it's still 18 months away. 17 months, I guess now. So I'll sleep in 18 months. There we go. I think that's a good timeline. Except that I won't, because it's like, then I'll have a big old fabric order to like wash and catalog and iron and all of that. So be prepared. That is, as much as I say like the prep work for this is tedious, the ironing of new fabric is nuts. Do I need to iron it or wash it and dry it? Probably not, but part of it is that I'm working with so much of it that I don't want to have a lot of the like finishing chemicals and stuff like that get onto my hands. I do advertise all my bags also as machine washable, and yes, I don't wash the linings, but it's like as long as you're washing it cool and air drying, it shouldn't be a problem. But I figure that at least getting the exteriors washed is going to be very helpful. Granted, I probably don't need to, but whatever. Would save me a lot of time not to, but again, it's like ugh, the chemicals and the storage dust and just bleh. We're gonna wash. We'll still wash the exteriors at least. You're like, Katie, but you just said you don't do the interior. I know. Half is better than none, I guess, in that situation. I don't know. There's no way I want to like unbolt. Well, there's no way in fucking hell we're unbolting the lining fabric that I just got from the Quebec supplier. So there's that. But yeah. All right. So right now what we're doing is we're going through and we're ironing these fabrics because they were previously what I called fabric envelopes. They did not sell. I was not enthusiastic about them once I finished them. I was very enthusiastic about finishing them, and then I just kind of let them like fade out of existence. Because the reception of them wasn't very good, and I don't blame anyone. They're just kind of like this big block of fabric. And because of that, they were quite expensive as well. Now, I'll be charging these as if they were new this time. Because even with reworking the fabric, I think that's still just easier for everyone involved. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to trim it out, and we're going to do a framed vinyl embroidery bag. I've got the plans. If you've been watching for the past few days, this is what we've been working on to like hopefully get sorted out. So, and then we are going to go in and do tote bag selections as well, because I did get my canvas order. Some of them are. It's a ridiculous amount of fabric, to be honest. So, and like I said, my enthusiasm for them was not enough to like make it worthwhile. So they've just kind of like sat for, I think I was doing the math the other day, about 6 or 7 years. And I've for like the past like 4 to 5, I've been like, okay, I want to remake these. And now it's like, okay, this is, get your ass in gear and get them remade. So here we are. That's what we're doing. Kiddos have restarted gymnastics. Really enjoying it, which is awesome. Our eldest is definitely loving the fact that they're in the unparented class. Youngest is listening a lot better than they were last year. Still disruptive, but like nothing insane. Very age-appropriate amount of distraction, I guess, and disruption, I think. Although I just had a chat with the OT, and so she assessed the youngest the other day, and they'll go in and they'll do they are going to work together to figure some stuff out for all of us involved, which will be good. And then, yeah, just kind of settling back into, I guess, whatever our routine is. I don't even know anymore. Ooh, that's tiny. I feel like that one was almost a small wedge bag, but whatever, we'll deal with it. Yeah, I don't know. Feels weird not to be at Knit City this year. That is for sure. Like, because normally I'm so used to this being the, like, final countdown prep for Knit City at this point that, like, not having it happening right now is kind of leaving me, like, looking around like, what am I doing? Now I know I should be taking advantage of that and doing a bunch of other things, but, well, we are. So, that's okay. It's all good. The ramble apparently is strong today. If you're not here for that, that is, I totally understand. I don't know if I'm here for it. But, yeah, apparently it is strong today. Okay. This is a big pile. Ugh. I remember distinctly being like, I need these for a pop-up at a local yarn store. And so I finished a bunch of them, and then, yeah, they just kind of, like I said, they just kind of floated around and did nothing. So I'm excited to, like, revamp them into this new iteration, that's for sure. And I still feel like, well, okay. When I look at what is available for embroidery and cross-stitch bags, commercially at least, they're ugly. There are some really nice handmade ones, but even they're, like, I don't see them typically at shows. I think I've seen one other maker in the last, like, since we've gone back to regular show programming. And that was just this August. So I'm obviously on the right track. Very similar style, but I am going to hack it a little bit because, and I've mentioned this in the last few streams, but I'll mention it again because whatever. It's my stream, and I'll ramble if I want to. Until the rambles off on me. Oh, we're going to add a pocket because one of the complaints I was reading about the vinyl bags is that, like, everything has to go together. So we're going to add a pocket to the back. Everything's going to be interfaced. And then, blah, 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 blah. All that jazz. We are going to go in and even up a lot of these cuts and just make it more standardized. In part because also it's like I was not overly cautious in my, like, opening up of everything. And just because it's like, well, I'm reusing the fabric. If it's a little bit smaller, it's going to be a little bit smaller anyway. It's fine. But, like, so we'll even up this here sort of thing. Probably take most of that seam allowance out. Just make it nice and straight. And then, yeah, I think it'll be good. It's not going to be worse. That's for damn sure. So. We were a little bit late to the birthday party yesterday, and apparently the little girl was like, they're best friends with my youngest, or really good friends with my youngest. So we ran late. I gave the mom a heads up that we were heading out of the city, but we would be late. And apparently the other people started showing up, and this little girl's like, oh, the youngest isn't coming. Obviously saying their name, but yeah, I was like, and then the mom had to be like, no, they're coming. And I am very glad we did because it looked like my kiddos were the only two, like, school friends that actually came. Because it looked like the rest of them were, like, family friends kiddos, which is awesome because it meant that it was a nice small party. But yeah, it made me very glad that I made sure that we came because of, I don't know if those were the only two invites that, like, went out, or if that was the only two invites that, like, yeah, were the only ones who went, or what. But I'm glad we were able to make it work. So. And the mom had been like, well, don't worry too much about presents when I asked. But, like, here are the things that she likes. And so, Spider-Man and mermaids. So they're right at that age where they can start doing, like, the smaller kind of like Lego sets. And so I got a really cool, actually, Spider-Man car set and a little golden book, Barbie mermaids. So the little girl was super like excited about that because apparently the mum must do a lot of Lego because she was like, it's like Mama's Lego, but your own. So that, yeah, that made me even more excited that we did something that was like right up the alley, obviously, of this family. So, yay. That was totally incidental too because I was just like, well, they're right at that age that they can start doing Lego. And then, yeah. But yeah, they had like a bounce castle set up. So they went and they played with Tara for like 2 hours while I ran, because I ran the 10 miler in like just under 2.25. And then for a few minutes afterwards, so about 2.5 hours. And then they went and they bounced on a bounce castle for like another 1.5 to 2 hours there as well. So they were toast. I was so surprised that they didn't fall asleep on the way home from the party. They actually stayed awake. It was amazing. And then they were in bed by like, and asleep by about 7:15. Then I went to bed early and I didn't fall asleep. I was like, really? Come on. Sucked. Because I was so tired. Because the night before that, I had not had a good sleep. And I was just like, really? Because, yeah. Oh well. Could be worse. Just annoying. Really, really, really annoying. So these will be bias bound on the sides here. Apparently not enough beer. And that's part of why it's like, okay, we'll take a reassessment and I'll figure out like, most of these will probably get binding made, I think. I think I'll have enough to do that. But some of them might end up with like commercial binding, which is also perfectly fine. I'm not too committed to it either way. When I'm redoing these and not repurposing them, or when I'm doing these from new fabric and not repurposing them, I'll make sure that I make bias binding from the fabric. But for now, just like this. Although I wonder, can you bias bind with twill tape? Like, because I've got a bias binding foot. I wonder if I could just do it with like black twill tape. Do you know, Wendy? And 100% not enough beer. But the problem was is that I had to drive so much yesterday that I was like, ugh. I had my beer with lunch. And because I'm trying to calorie deficit. I'm not drinking too much right now because it's like, it's so easy to drink more, and honestly sometimes I would prefer the extra food versus the beverage. Be responsible with your health, they say. Dumb. Oh well, we'll try. But yeah, being a little bit lighter will mean a little bit faster too, so we'll go with that. That's actually the main reason for it right now. I had spin this morning and that was very good. One good thing about like it yesterday actually is I'm not too sore today, so I'm like, all right, I'll take that at least. Can definitely feel that I ran when I was on the bike, so quads and my butt. And I did actually notice that even yesterday, the glutes were tight. But honestly, nowhere near as bad as I have been the last few races. So I think that's probably yeah, whatever it is. Oh, probably weights. That's already helped with it. Okay. The twill is something I would be comfortable putting through the bias foot. So, and that's good that's what I was thinking too, because basically these would just be rectangles. They're not going to get cornered. It's just that making the continuous bias tape from like the square is easier than piecing it all together, I guess. Okay, this one's already ready to go pretty much, so I'm not going to worry about it. Because, yeah, like I won't put like cotton linen through the bias foot because it's heavy. It's too heavy. It doesn't make for a nice binding. So that is one of the areas where it's like, okay, having the twill tape would be nice. So I guess we might be doing some experimenting with that as well. Okay. Actually, we're cranking along pretty good. This is part why I haven't done this repurposing yet, is because it's just like, well, we already knew what I was in for from like the OB, and that's really easy, like repurposing in some ways, because it's like open it up. And beyond like pattern placement, because I am pickier about the pattern placement than I am with the for the OB than I am for the cotton and cotton linen blends. Like beyond that, it's just like, all right, make it into a flat piece of fabric. Whereas this, I have gone in and we've cut it so that like this is the upper and this is the bottom, blah, 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 blah. But I am super excited for this to be, in part, I am super excited for this to be done, and in part, I am super excited to do these new once I like experiment with these ones. Yes. Yeah, because the new ones will be, even the new ones, they're going to have basically a frame up and top and bottom, so that I do only have to bind down the sides. So yeah, the black twill should be fine just going down the sides, or just, I guess, if we're not cutting on the bias, we could just cut a strip basically then, right? Yeah. Okay, probably be easier. Because basically what's going to happen is this, so this will be like the upper frame, because I really like, shit. I just realized this is a mess right now. Because I want to, so the thought process with these was that what I was going to do was like, this is the upper frame, and then you get a top zipper as well, so that you have the pocket. We are adding the pocket, but in that case, what I should be doing is I should be cutting it here and adding the zipper here, because I don't want as big a frame on the top. But I just clued into that. So maybe with these ones, yes, so that'll be the non-repurposed style. Although once you add the zipper in, 1 second. So once you add the zipper in, yeah, that's too much fabric up top. It's all blah, 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 blah. Too much fabric all the time. Anyway, what are we doing then? I could cut it off and I could stitch it back, but then you'd end up with a seam line in the back. So I think what I'll do is we'll keep it like this. This is going to fold down to there, and then actually that's kind of cool, because then that zipper will match more or less, the pocket zipper will more or less match the front zipper, because I really like the look of the frame and the like offset instead of top zipper anyway. And that would also make, no, we want to stagger them a bit, because again we're binding it, so like about there. That's a lot of fabric. There's a lot of fabric down here too. I guesstimated so much of this, but honestly that gives me a chance to do a nice wide or nice thick edging to sew the vinyl into. So we'll go with that. Whatever, we're good. Deal with it. Okay, yeah, so that's what'll happen is we'll do this. This folds up in here once we're ready to go for vinyl. And And then that'll fold down until just before it matches up with the back zipper, or until, yeah, there we go. So we'll have like an inch above and a bunch below, and then the back pocket will be below that, and then the pocket can be below that. That works. Okay. Now if I go back and I'm like, hey, I forgot, and I change my mind, please don't point it out. And I just realized I could actually technically be ironing those already, but apparently we're not going to. So anyway, the plan in the future is that then basically it'll frame. I'll leave you for now. There'll be a top zipper, and then the framed zipper, and then the bag was the plan for these guys, is the plan for future bags, because what I was thinking is that zipper here, offset the zipper here, but like this is too thick, right? It's too much, even on the smaller bags. So we'll fudge it a little bit. And I like the look of that better as well. And we'll make it work from there. I'll make sure that they get a snap frame in. The bigger ones are 100% large enough to get the snap frame in. I think these ones, it's a massive hoop. I'm gonna have to figure out the measurements. Again, because they're getting repurposed, they'll probably be like, the measurements are gonna be a bit different. But when we start cutting new fabrics again, I'll definitely be making them large enough for like the 11 by 17s. I think that'll probably be the upper limit to what I make. But like 11 by 11, I think will fit this one for sure. I'm looking around because I want my quilt ruler, which apparently has like decided to disappear. Oh, right, because it's behind me. Doom, doom. Yeah, so right now that's 14 inches wide, not counting the selvage. So it would, 11 to 20. It would for sure right now fit an 11 by 11. And then even once we add the binding in, it'll fit an 11 by 11. Because yes, I know that a lot of the times the snap frames are a lot more popular now. Heck, I like the snap frames better because I find that they hold the fabric better than the hoops a lot of the time. So yes, the goal is that you can fit a snap frame in. And we'll make sure that the non-repurposed ones definitely can fit a snap frame in. That is a lot of excess fabric. And like in the trim down and all of that, I will try to make sure that I don't trim past being able to fit at least an 11 by 11 in. Although that obviously is going to be dependent on like different factors. Now this one is small enough, I think we will go in and do the zipper up top. Because then the frame is nice. Yeah. So like that. So there'll be a zipper up here for the pocket. And then, yeah, that looks good. Okay. Apparently not as much excess fabric on this one. Now these were also all over the place when I was actually like sewing them and cutting them and everything like that. So they are not very standardized. So each of these is going to be an individual size and shape, which will not be reflective of future product. Again, the repurposing, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so that one's also going to have its zipper put to the top, mostly because this is quite, it needs to be trimmed down anyway. Okay. Yes, Ziplocs would actually work. I've also tried the like letter trays from the dollar store and that did not work. But you're right, Ziplocs would actually work quite well. In fact, I even have Ziplocs I could use for it. Good thought process. Come here. Yeah, rather than always having to like match them back and forth constantly. Do the whole like snap or clip. I keep calling them snaps, but the like clip system, right? Which is slightly going to be resolved now because we have one lining fabric and two pocket choices right now. A blue and an aqua paw prints. And aqua paw prints is obviously only going to go to cat fabrics and, well, animal fabrics. So, That's a good point, though. I need like more small bins because now I've got all the big bins and they've worked obviously pretty decently for what we did this summer. So it's like, I'm going to keep that system. I just realized the bins I could use though is I was at Staples today and there's little orange cat bins. Like, yes. Yeah, they had like, they're like the snap bins like you would use for pencil crayons and stuff like that. So that'd be perfect. I was like, what could I use this for? But that is the perfect use for it. Okay, let's hope that this one more water top up is enough to at least get through this step. Yeah, because then we'll go in and do the cleanup, and then we'll go in and do the ironing of the upper and the bottom. I like the way you think. New fabric is always an excellent inducement to doing work. I do technically kind of have that system in place already. I've got a bunch of like IKEA bins actually in the shelf, and that's where I put like what's supposed to be the shape and size. But yes, I don't have anything to do like this next step, which is like the transition out of the cutting studio. And then actually, if I did all the matching up, we could still put them in the Ziploc bags and put them in the shelf in the bin. And it would be nice and stored, and they wouldn't, like, they couldn't slip out of the shelf because cats, me, etc. I just had a brainwave about an argument to go to Japan in June. Because I could go see a friend in Wakayama. A couple friends in Wakayama, actually. And then why I think June. This is back on when do I get to go to Japan again. But if it's in June, there's the direct flights to the Kansai area. And JAL is offering free domestic flights for international travelers. And JAL would be who you would fly with from Narita to Osaka. Or actually, Air Canada was offering direct flights right into Osaka. It didn't even matter. From Vancouver, not Calgary, but... Yeah, seriously. I was like, okay, I saw an ad for it. I have done no research, and it's only on domestic flights. So what I'm guessing is that basically they're giving you your transfer flight for free. I'm like, okay, I gotta look into this closer. So I'm assuming you pay, well, you're gonna pay the fare from wherever you fly out of, like Canada, but like if you're going to even like Hokkaido or Okinawa then I guess or whatever, or Kansai, they must give you the flight for like free. Let's actually look that up. Let me see. Like, don't burn myself on the iron. JAL free domestic flights. Yeah, okay. Japan Airlines. Okay, tap in, please. Japan Airlines rolls out complimentary domestic flights to international passengers. Book an international flight with JAL and receive free domestic flights to explore more of Japan. Seamless travel experience. Plan your journey with ease, staying at your initial destination, for example, Tokyo, and traveling to another location within Japan without extra charges for most travelers. To ensure a stopover fee applies to US, Canada, Mexico, and China travelers whose first destination stay in Japan exceeds 24 hours. Okay, so basically you can't, wait, what? Oh, okay, so you can't go in and be like, I'm going to go and do 3 days in Tokyo and then do a free domestic flight. No, you have to do it for the free domestic flight, like Vancouver, Tokyo, wherever. Currently, this offer is available for customers from the following countries. Plans are in place to expand the eligible countries accordingly. US, Canada, and Mexico on the 10th. Oh, 2 weeks ago almost. Thailand, September 11th. Singapore, September 18th. Australia and New Zealand, September 19th. Vietnam and the Philippines, September 25th. Indonesia, India, China, and Taiwan, September 27th. Now, the only issue is that, like, JAL is expensive to get from Vancouver to Tokyo. Although, arguably, I do think that they provide a better experience than Air Canada for sure. If you want to upgrade your like flight experience without having to pay for like premium, well, basically you're paying premium economy prices for what would be a premium economy thing. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, can you get it if you buy your flight then also on like say a Black Friday sale? You definitely have to book it direct to the JAL site. So then the other factor of that too is like, how do you get to Vancouver? Because JAL doesn't fly out of Calgary anymore. So there's definitely some factors in it. I think it's a really good promotion for JAL because I think they're struggling. Because I think ANA has kind of whooped their asses a bit. But the thing is that ANA is also like $1,500 more per flight than JAL as well. So JAL is one of the only airlines that I've seen that still flies the Boeing 767s, which is one of the few Boeing planes that isn't under like whistleblower report right now. And I'm like, I wonder if they fly out of Australia or if they like are partnered with someone. So like out of Calgary, they're partnered with WestJet now. So it's usually like JAL flight, say 17, WestJet like operated by WestJet, or vice versa of WestJet flight 17 operated by JAL sort of thing. So, but JAL was the one that I flew when I went to Japan the first time. Be kind of a cool nostalgia trip. And then actually I flew them to Singapore when I went and saw my old roommate in Singapore as well. Where I got a free upgrade to like a bulkhead seat, because she's like, the stewardess was like, flight attendant saw me and they're like, it's not very full, do you want this seat instead? I'm like, yes, please, that would be amazing. Actually, that's a good question. I should ask a friend. He's Australian, living in Japan, but he flies back and forth to see his family quite a bit. I can't remember where they live though. It's probably a big factor because I know, like, same as Canada, Australia is not small. Go. Almost there with the whole flattening out of all the fabric. Actually, what I would have loved to have seen is how much the flight cost to Kansai before this promotion through JAL versus like what it costs now. Actually, I can do that, I think. We'll look it up on Air Canada here in a couple of minutes, because I'm pretty sure, as much as WestJet is partnered with Air Canada, I'm pretty sure JAL was the one offering the flights from Tokyo to... Although then does that count, because it's technically booked through Air Canada and not JAL? Yeah, let's have a whole discussion about the fact that it's like cost me the same to fly to frickin' Florida as it does to fly to frickin' Toronto. No, come here. Don't get stuck. Actually, the crazy one is that it costs the same to fly down to California for us as it does to fly to Florida. And about the same amount of time, too. It doesn't make sense to me. Because that's why we haven't been to Disneyland as often, because you'd be like, oh, Calgary, that's pretty accessible to California. It's like, nope, it's the same cost as flying to freaking Florida. Or like within like $100. So it's like comparable at least. And then, yeah, and then you take those numbers and it's like, as much as I complain about the flights to Japan, you add like $200 and you've got a direct flight or a round trip flight to Japan. Doesn't make it make sense. Well, we know why. And I think Australia is probably the same. You don't have a lot of national carriers, do you? Like, there's very little flight competition in Canada. Although, and I know this is because of like the whole like interest thing and like more people flying out of there and everything, but I still find it insane that it costs more to fly from Vancouver to Tokyo than it does to fly from Calgary to Tokyo. That one still baffles me. Because I was like, hey, Dallas can like, we go for Knit City. Like, Dallas can drop me off for flight to Japan after Knit City, and then I'll go and he just picks me up afterwards. Blah, 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 blah. But yeah, it was like a $1,200 flight round trip out of Calgary was like $1,500 round trip out of Vancouver. And that didn't include my flight between Calgary and Vancouver. Like, didn't make it make sense. Yeah, that's your only one. So we technically do have two. We've got WestJet and we've got Air Canada. But the problem is that Air Canada really does service Eastern Canada better than it services Western Canada. And then WestJet, as per the name, because it started in Calgary, services technically Western Canada better than it services Air Canada, Eastern Canada. The problem with WestJet right now that's cropping up is that they sold to a private equity company out of the States in 2019, and I'm used to hearing constant complaints about Air Canada. Air Canada sucks, I'm not going to lie, in some ways, but I've never had an issue on any of their international flights. But apparently the whole WestJet experience has just like gone completely downhill. And I will say that I definitely noticed that with a few things when we flew down to Florida in January of it. It was just like, it was just meh, right? So, yeah, I guess. But the thing about it is it's like Calgary to Toronto is not a wild, like, destination to want to go to, because Toronto is some of our, like, it's a hub again, especially going to Europe. And then the other factor of it is it's like it's a business hub as well. So like as much as like I don't know where I'm going there. I guess that's a factor in it too. Let's just go with that's a factor in it too. It's still fucking annoying. I just wish we had the ability to have a bit more competition, because it's not just airlines that are kind of fucking us over right now. I'm going to actually look at this to see. Intermission. Let's do an intermission, and we're going to look at the cost of what it actually is to fly with JAL right now, because I think the last time I looked to go Calgary to Vancouver, Calgary to frickin' Tokyo, it was like $2,500 round trip. Like, when you, one person, 4 people, even for one person, I'm like, oh, that's a chunk. Okay, there we go. And also, their website is, out of any, Japanese websites are not like super user-friendly, which is insane to say, but also JAL's is just an exceptionally terrible website. Okay, let's say my like crazy plan comes true and I go in February. So end of January to the beginning of February. So not you're a prisoner in my what? Okay, you're gonna have to explain that one, Wendy. I am lost. Let's do an economy seat. English, please. My Japanese is not good enough to book a flight on a website, although it might be cheaper if I did. Okay, so I've put in Calgary to Osaka, end of January to beginning of February. And we're going to do this for JAL, and we're going to do the same for Air Canada. Because the other thing I always look at is like what's the cost difference between going from Calgary to like Osaka and Calgary to Tokyo, because realistically the train cost is not high enough. It has to save quite a bit of money to make it worthwhile. Okay. Gross. Okay, there we go. So leaving. Yeah. Okay, so they do the Calgary to Vancouver, Vancouver to Tokyo, Tokyo to Osaka. And they're 100% partnered with WestJet. So I wonder if I looked at, this is Tuesday. I wonder if I looked on the Wednesday if it would actually give me the direct from Calgary to Economy Special Plus, Economy Flex. We're just going to go cheapest. There we go. And then the return, one connection. Nope. We are not flying through the States. Thank you. I can't imagine doing Gross, they're all to LA. Anyway, I can't imagine doing customs in the States. Okay, there we go. This one is through Vancouver. So Osaka, Tokyo, Tokyo, Vancouver, Vancouver, Calgary. Select a fare. Yeah, it's still like $2,800 to Osaka. In a like off season. Oh shit, it's not. Thank you for pointing that out. We would, even if this comes true, I am not going in frickin' end of January because lunar. So I was putting in dates from January 28th forward, and Lunar New Year is January 29th. Now, yes, you would end up landing on the 29th in Tokyo, but that is 100% going to skew the costs. Okay, so I learned that lesson. You have to be like about a week out from Lunar New Year to make it not high season, which is insane. Okay, because usually it is I found that if I was flying into Osaka, it saved us money because you're like staying in Japan and not transferring through Narita. So there was that, but yeah, this looks like it's pretty expensive. Okay. Yeah, you definitely, so there's the ultra low cost carrier, and WestJet has introduced that where it's basically like, all right, you don't get to choose your seat, you just get it, whatever's left, and you get, suck it up, basically. Oh my goodness, please let me just go back. Okay, the other thing I can never understand is why they don't let you like just modify your flight right there. Anyway, words and thoughts are just not working today. But so there is like out of LA, I think there's Zip Air, which would be the closest thing to like a low cost carrier for Japan. But like, again, it only flies out of certain areas. And yeah, it's the other thing is it's like, it's a low cost carrier. So, okay. I want to try JAL one more time off of a thing. Okay, so that was $2,700 in January. Flights from Vancouver to Tokyo from $1,500. That's still really expensive, guys. What do I see? Well, I guess it's not that bad based on what I've been seeing, unfortunately. Okay. So we're going, where are we going? Boop, 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 boom. Done. Okay, yeah, so Air Canada is now partnered with ANA, which is All Nippon Airlines. And their round trip off of peak season, which obviously Lunar New Year is, although returning in March is $1,700. Whereas, yeah, each way, even for JAL in same dates, would be like the exact same price. So it isn't any cheaper to go with JAL. Although JAL, like I said, does give you the opportunity of like, I keep hearing that their economy is like one of the best still that flies right now. So I do think, I think that makes it still cheaper than like going with like premium economy through Air Canada. Let's go back. Also, I was totally seeing prices earlier where it's like, why would you pay for like premium economy? Yeah, okay. So lowest premium economy with Air Canada is $2,300 one way. So that's where I think the benefit is. But, and yeah, all of these comparisons would be that they are flights that have the normal like luggage limits and everything like that. The one thing I was seeing the other day was Air Miles was saying that they don't include food and beverage on an international flight. I get not including food and beverage on freaking like domestic flights. I get that. But there was like the flight stuff said that they don't include it on an international flight. And I'm like, is this true? Because that makes air miles even more worthless than they are to me right now anyway. I'm like, what the hell is going on? They're eating the cats and dogs. Sorry. Yeah. But yeah, so I was like looking at air miles and I'm like, what the hell? Why wouldn't you like... So they are still usable and everything like that, and I can still book the flights. But you start looking at their... Like, why wouldn't they give you a meal? You're on an international flight. No matter the fare class that you book, if you book cash, you still get fed. Again, I understand if you're going domestic, you're not going to get a meal. That's just how it works now, unless you like pay extra for it, and I'm fine with that. But like internationally, that's never been an issue. But there is a conditions notice on their air miles flights now, up into one of the higher class like costs, that no food and beverage is included. And I'm like, what? Again, this is all like, I'm trying to figure out what like is the best deal for us to kind of settle into, because I was an air miles person for so long, and now it's like they're just kind of, it's like, do I stick with air miles or do I go with the Air Canada one? And I'm still leaning Air Canada right now for Aeroplan, because it's like it gives you status with the airline and everything like that too, which is like not the worst thing to have. Okay, I'm going to trim this down actually pretty significantly, in part because we had that discussion about the zipper, and now I'm like, right? Seriously. And it's just like, is this like what I'm wondering is if it's a typo, if it's just like a carryover from you don't get any meals on domestic flights. But the fact that it shows up in higher economy classes, so like the flex or whatever, tells me that it's like not a typo. And the other thing though is that I think it says it with Air Canada now too, and I know for sure that every Air Canada Air Miles booking that I've done has included a meal. So I'm like, I'm at loose ends right now. I think I gotta actually call them and find out, because the plan was that I do have enough air miles that I could get us all onto a flight to Japan when we go. So I'm just like, I don't know anymore. Okay, where are we at? How do I need it to be even? I don't think it needs to be even on both sides of this, does it? No, it really doesn't. Although we're pretty fucking close right now. So what I'm thinking I might do is I'm going to trim down this side more. We're going to do like, I don't know, 2.5 inches from the zipper. Hello, Jennifer. Do 2.5 inches from the zipper, and then you end up with a zipper that gets like sewn in. That's going to give 2 inches, so effectively about that much right here. And then and then the zipper could be at the top of this bag, and this is the frame. That's what we're doing. Okay, it all looks pretty square. What is the 2.5 inch point down here? There it is. There it is. That looks square to the fabric. Done. All right, no looking back now. Okay, and then how wide are we right now? We are currently at 18 inches. And 18 inches. Okay, what I need to do is I need to actually pair these up with their bags, apparently, because now I'm like at a loss for what it actually is. Okay, I think this is it right here. Pretty sure this is the interior and this is the exterior. So Jennifer, just for a quick catch up, we're working on repurposing some bags that I used to call fabric envelopes. And they're being opened up and repurposed into embroidery and cross stitch bags right now. So yeah, that's it. We're going to call that the piece right there. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to trim down the width of this, and then we'll sort out all that afterwards. Now, is this actually square or square enough? Yes, square enough. Okay, so it's 29 to 47, and we want to fit a Q-snap into it. So I'm going to actually go with the pattern that I found does a 16 by 16-ish. I'm going to go with 16 wide. And then we'll go with like a little bit larger back. No, 16 by 16 would fit an 11 by 11. If I did a 16 by 18, which this would accommodate, we could have a 11 by 7 in there very easily. Because right now this will not fit an 18 inch anyway. Okay, or 17 inch. Or it would barely, but it won't have any like wiggle room. So let's trim it down to, what did I just say, 16? 16. Okay, I'm going to scoot this one over here because we do have enough to do that. We'll line it up on this mark. Yeah, I've been wanting to do this for a while and I just have not taken the time. So we're taking the time now because this is a product that I've been working towards for, well, a while. And it was just time to get these out of their like box and done that way. So here we are, doing it. Is there a lot of mathing happening right now? 100%. Am I happy about it? Not really. My brain. Okay, so 29, 16. Right, we're going for 17, which I think we can make work right there. Barely, but we got it. Doom, doom, doom. So the only new thing that'll be added into these is we're not going to interface these top pieces because of the vinyl, but we are going to interface the back portion as well as the pocket and pocket lining. So what we're going to do next is that this one will actually be the style that we're going to do in future, which means that will be another zipper, and then this will be the vinyl front down here. And we'll add vinyl to it. So I guess, yeah, the new fabrics will be a new zipper and a new, the other thing, vinyl. All right, so these two are going to get sewn together like that. And then this is going to be interior white fabric, and this will just be the backing of it. So we want to do this, and then we do want it to like fold up a tick. Probably add this, like, what does she suggest for the other one? Mathing is so hard, but at least I'm stretching my brain, I guess. Let's say that I'm stretching my brain. Okay, so she says to do a 16 by 16 bag back batting vinyl zipper fabric bottom. Oh, she binds the bottom. Gross. I don't want to bind the bottom. Oh, these all bind the bottom. Damn it. I was hoping that she would have like something that I could base my ratio off of. Okay, so we're gonna match this little black cat. All right, so what did I say I wanted to do? I wanted to do an 18-inch down. Yeah, because then we can fit a 17-inch frame. So we want 18 inches down, and then we're gonna add a 1/2 inch for fuck ups. No, for the seam at the top for the zipper, even though it's only going to be a 1/4 inch, but you know. And then we want it to fold up and have another 1/2 inch to fold down for the vinyl. So we want it another 1/2 inch, and then we want 2 inches. So we want it to be here. It's 21 inches for the 18-inch bag. 21 inches for the 18-inch bag. 21. I'm gonna write this down in a random spot and regret it later. 21 inches for 17-inch bag. Embroidery. I will try and, I don't know where my little notepad is right now, so that's why it's gonna be on that most random piece of paper. Don't sue me. 21 inches. So I did mark it already. Now this is where the mathing is going to like be all over the place, because again, I was not consistent with my cuts when I made these last time. So each of them is going to be individual. Scrim. Okay, I'm going to square this up based on the squares a little bit, not the side seam. Just so it's a little bit more even along here. There we go. All right, and then yeah, and then we can make the binding not out of that. We can make most of it out of this, but we might try the twill on this because the black would look really good. Okay. 21, 18. Now we got to trim it down so that it actually measures 18 inches and is squared up. Top is straight and the bottom is straight, or straight enough. And then we got to trim it this way, which means we need to also get it like that. Actually, we're just going to do it this way. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. I've been wanting like vinyl project bags for a very long time, but just have like not really pulled the trigger on them yet. So this will be a good stretch. Also, it was a skills thing too. Last time I tried to make these, so I think this will be. I think I've leveled up the skills enough to actually be able to do this regularly. All right. So what's going to happen? So this is going to be the bottom. Not that much, like that much-ish, minus the hem. There'll be a zipper up here, and then this whole portion in here will be that other stuff. Vinyl. Clear vinyl on top of it. All right. Now, this one, there is a seam at the bottom, so what we're going to try to do, instead of having to cut it out, is take advantage of it. So it should work that this will line up with the top, more or less. That's where we'll add the... Yes, the pocket will be up there still. Okay. No! It's too short. Which means that we would end up with a seam. Would it be a visible seam? Yes, probably. Damn it. Okay. Wait. Oh yeah, because we're adding the zipper at the top, not at a... Ah, okay, apparently the one side was longer than the other side. Okay, that's close enough. So we need to go down and then trim it at that 2-inch point as well. And then this portion of this will become the pocket fabric so that I don't need to worry about cutting new pocket fabric. Okay, so we need to go 2 inches up on this side. Or if I just lay this over top of it, we can... I don't know why I didn't think of that. Duh. No. And then what we'll do is we'll just make the... Right, that's what we can do. Because again, these are all individual. We'll just make this bottom frame the same size as what's on top of the seam. Okay. Done. Ding, 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 ding. I do eventually figure these things out sometimes. Okay. Zoom. Like that. Okay. Turn. Okay, and that was not lined up on that side, so we're going to scoot this way a bit so that everything... Actually, yeah, we're going to scoot and cut on that side because this side needs a trim down up here, but this side needs its actual seam allowance cut out. Again, I was not overly cautious with like the opening up of these. If I need to cut new like lining fabric, I need to cut new lining fabric. We're going to try and reuse as much as possible, but like if this gets scrapped and put into apparently hand gestures into like other smaller projects, I'm not going to be upset. It's okay. Just would prefer to use as much as possible because I don't want to have to open up that new roll of fabric yet. If I don't have to. I think even our, even the tote bags have most of the lining fabric cut. It was just we ran out of the canvas to make them with. There. All right. Done. And then this, I know it looks like a really big pocket, but you got to fold it in half anyway. So there will be a pocket across the back of the bag that will then become a, like, tools, floss, etc. pocket. Okay. Interfacing will need to go on to, does it need interfacing? It probably does need interfacing. I don't want to do interfacing. Oh, right, it's not going to be that deep. It's going to be like here because of the vinyl. It needs interfacing. Because that will make it sturdier, especially against the vinyl too. Okay, over into the corner because interfacing isn't later, whatever. Okay, so we're gonna do a very comparable, hopefully we don't have to remath everything, so I'm actually gonna keep this out. And we're gonna do a very comparable cut down of most of these. I think we should just do this cut down anyway. And I'll put it in line that then I can do a, sorry. Now I'm thinking, I'm like, that's a waste of fabric. Okay, well the sides need to be cut down anyway, so let's do that. And it does look like the lining might be a little bit small to either side anyway. So let's double check and just make sure that the lining, nope. Okay, so it's a 1/2 inch smaller. So we're just gonna trim it down so that it's straight, and then we'll figure out our measurements from there for this one. Okay. Good. Hi, cat. I could. But I don't want to. But I probably should. To see if like the frame fits in and the pockets and everything work and if I need to interface everything. But we could. We could do the one, actually we could do the, this guy. Airplane cat. Who apparently hasn't been trimmed down yet. And I also did completely differently so that it actually has a seam at the bottom. So maybe not that one. Let's do this cat one that we just did. You're right. Fine. I did iron vinyl the other day so that I could match it up. I think we're good. In my brain we're good, but you're right. We'll do it. Okay, which means I gotta get the iron back out though. Okay, so that's gonna go there. Oh, excuse me. And then that's gonna go there. And then the vinyl piece is gonna be here. So it needs to be at minimum 12 inches by 17 inches. 12 by 17. 12 by 17. 12 by 17. Ding, 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 ding. This vinyl is cranky. I have had this vinyl for far too long. Part of why I'm like, I need to use this up and like move on with the project vinyl. Apparently I dripped some coffee on it one day. Good thing it can be wiped. Or scratched off. Okay. Okay, yeah. Cat, how do you manage to be in the way all the time? Okay. That's still good for like pouches and stuff like that. There's not enough there for any of these projects currently. So I think what we'll do is we'll cut down the vinyl. It's 3:15. What I'm leaning towards is I think we should also cut down the felt and the tote bags. Decision making. You're the one saying under, but I don't know what you expect. Brains. 17 inches. Good thing about vinyl is like, yes, it's wrinkly, but really it's not going to be warped right now. Can't really warp, so I'll be able to get a nice like straight cut, hopefully. In theory, that's how it should work. I know. Very erase marker on vinyl is not exactly the way to go, but that's okay. We'll get it sorted. Okay. Good. 12. By 17. Alrighty. What to do with it? That's not it. Okay, I'm just gonna double check to make sure that that's actually what's going to fit in there. And then boom. Yep. Sweet. Okay, we'll do one without. No, wait, what? No. Okay, well, that'll be for something else. It's 16 inches, not 17 inches. I guess what I could do is I could pop this in here and we could do an actual cut based on that right there. The heck, this is like way wider than what I just cut. Oh, because I cut it depth instead of height. The brains are braining. Okay, so the 12-inch still makes sense. And then it needs to like come over to here is all. Okay. I'm going to actually make it an inch deeper as well. So we're going to come down here an inch. And then I'm going to cut across here like this. Physically remove the cat from the cutting area. Okay, there we go. That looks better, actually. Next time, I will bring a Sharpie down, and I will use that for marking tool because realistically, it's all going to get covered up. That is wider than the bag, and that is fine. I would much prefer that. And we can deal with it later. And then I think it's the right height. Yeah, we're at the right height. There, are we at the right height here? 100%, we're at the right height here. So that is what's going to be the vinyl portion, is like this right here. And then the next step is we're gonna iron that vinyl. We're gonna do that right now. We'll iron the vinyl and put in the creases for the actual like vinyl thing. And then I need to figure out the binding for it. Is this excess piece enough? No, it's not. Damn it. I did consider like putting in, oh, what about this one? This is the piece I was actually thinking it was. I think this might be enough. No, it's definitely not. Nope. Nope. So we'll make a little bit of bias binding then, which means that this just needs to be stitched up, and then we'll fold it over and we'll do the, I know it doesn't have to be bias. Although, yeah, okay. Because that's not enough to actually do a gyoza bag from either. There we go. Doom, 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 doom. Oh yeah, 100%. Earning his kibble today. Apparently the brain cell is not in the building right now, that's all. Okay. I can't reach this board over here. So I gotta find a better spot for it that's closer to the actual cutting table. There we go. Here we are. What time is it? 3:30. Okay, so I have a plan for dinner, I think. It involves frozen food, but whatever. It's like those like frozen like chicken cordon bleu, and then I think I'm going to air fry potatoes. Actually, can you air fry mini potatoes? Does anyone know off the top of their heads? Without like boiling them, or do I need to pre-boil them and then air fry them? We had smashed potatoes for the last little bit and they've been delicious. So that's kind of the vibe I'm going for. But I'm hoping with less work. Plug in, please. Thank you. You are a pest, dude. And you're gonna have to go get your fluff butt trimmed down here soon. Like, no, don't scratch me that way. How dare you? 100%. He is a drama cat. So, okay. Ugh. Freaking vinyl. No, turn the steam off. Actually, it feels like it might need to be just one layer of cotton. He's like, oh my God, this iron is out again. It's hissing at me. Yeah, get out of here then. Oh, that's a good question. It's like, ooh, I could just do French fries. I don't have to do fresh potatoes. I've got frozen fries. That would be tasty too, actually. And like broccoli. Steamed broccoli. Chicken cordon bleu, whatever. And fries. That sounds amazing right now. Could air fry the broccoli and the fries together, although then the taste transfers. Broccoli doesn't take very long to air fry though. But then we could have like seasoned broccoli. Okay. Almost. Apparently, the storage of this has not been very friendly to it. Whoops. Surprise. All right. Happy enough with that now. Yay. Okay, so this was the piece that needed to be folded up. Then we need to do the... Okay, so that's going to be a zipper edge. This is the edge that's getting folded up and sewn to the vinyl, so we need it to have a seam. Oops. Okay. Turn that back on. And then flip this, and I said what, a half inch seam. So that's right about there probably. I actually don't care how thick the interior seam is, as long as I can put the vinyl in it and it doesn't show on the exterior. That is the difference. So the thicker the interior seam, though, to me, the better right now. Okay. So I'll make this one about 3/8 of an inch, just because that'll be a good point at which to actually sew the vinyl. And we're going to match these up and just make sure that that's how it worked out, more or less at least. Again, it doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be 99%. Okay, yeah, because there's the zipper pocket. It's going to happen up top. And then, okay, so in this case we do actually need to fold this side down a bit more. Right there. I still need to get some little silicone heat, like finger heat protectors, because good God, I do not need to burn my fingers off. Okay, there we go. So far so good. I'm going to fold this up, and I am going to steam this right now so that we've got this like seam pressed in for there. Good. We're going to trim the top here a little bit, just because otherwise this divot in the lining here is going to interfere. And a little bit of extra like vinyl going into this seam is not going to be a big deal. Okay, so this will slot in here. And all this trimming down afterwards will happen afterwards. I'll line it up with the bottom of that seam allowance right there, more or less. Again, not a big deal. My only persnickety thing is I do not want to see the interior fabric if I can avoid it. Which looks like I can do. Okay. Zip out of the way for now. We need the upper. This is the portion that's going to get the zipper. It's a little bit smaller. This is the portion for the vinyl. I'm going to see if I can fold it under so that it's like straight along the like checks. Or damn close sort of thing again, which is going to be a little bit skinnier of a seam. That's okay. Doesn't look like it, but I think that's probably even between the two. It's straight. That's what matters. Okay. And then, okay. I think if I do it flippy this way, and then I fold it underneath here. Yeah, look at that. Matchy match. Or just inside the match. Perfect. I need to get some finger protectors. I was like, I don't need more finger protectors because, you know, I'm all done ironing those reversible drawstring mags. So why would I need finger protectors? Right. Because these all need at least 2 seams ironed. Damn it. It's like, I'll be able to push that like purchase out a little bit. Nope. Should not be thinking that way, apparently. All right. Let's make sure. Are we good? Doom, 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 doom. Okay. That lines up with the zip. There's a significant amount of vinyl in there, but that's okay. Again, I would prefer more vinyl inside there. Zip that over. I don't know why the lining isn't lined up on the like side seams. Doom, 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 doom. There. Good. 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 Okay, I see the flaw in having it too far up into this is that then there is no interfacing above it. But it's a flat bag. It's a flat bag. Is it a big deal? Or do I shove the vinyl all the way? So I've got two options. I can shove the vinyl all the way up to the zipper, which of course messes up the back and everything like that. So push it down all the way here so that basically it becomes the interfacing. And then you like sew it across. That doesn't feel very good. And go up here all the way. I remember this being the debate when I was trying to figure out if I wanted to do vinyl project bags or not. It's like, do you put it all the way up to the zipper or do you not? Like that. It's not bad. It's not good. It looks good. Sorry, I'm like, apparently my brain shut off because it's tired. But it looks good. Just debating. I do prefer it up here. So then, and actually, okay, so then I think what ends up happening is I have to trim it down so that there is not as much overhang. Now that I've got it actually like ironed. Sorry, that's loud probably. I can trim it down here, and I can trim it down here. So it is kind of nice right there. And then the next question becomes, do I need interfacing? The thing about it is that all of the things that I look at are quilted, and I'm not quilting it. Yeah, it's like fusible fleece or batting. Is this one as well? Oh no, this one's just interfacing. So maybe we'll do interfacing, I think maybe on the back. Yep. So basically do interfacing strip here, interfacing on the interior and interfacing on the pocket. The pocket makes sense because it needs to have a little bit of body against the zip itself. And then the exterior doesn't get interfacing. Yeah, okay. Decided. Because, yeah, that's like, it'll just give a body against the vinyl because this is really floopy. And then, yeah, and then another zipper up here, which is still going to be really nice. And then a pocket interfaced, interior interfaced, and you're good. And I can just interface this whole interior piece because then it's just like, whatever. And we'll make sure that we trim this down to there. I am going to bring a Sharpie for that. So there we go. I am not sewing it right now. And that was also totally burned my brain out. So we're going to just do some like easy tote bag selection and maybe match up webbing colors. Oh well, at least we got everything ironed today, so that's good. We're like another step closer to actually getting these done. And the other thing is that I don't want to move out into the sewing studio right now, so we'll do this work right now while we're still here. And then maybe on, I don't know what my schedule looks like this week, to be honest, because it's like, so I'm in between shows really, and I'm kind of at the end of the show season as well. So I'll probably come in and work a little bit on Wednesday. I'll probably work a little bit each day. And then figure it out, because I want to spend some more time with the kids while the weather is still really nice. And then when the weather turns shit, I'll start coming downstairs more when Dallas is home. Alrighty. Here are a bunch of tote bags that are the old cuts. So not only do we get to do... Oh, wait. I wonder if I've got some more of that fabric in here. We'll find out. Anyway, so we can do a bunch of new bags, and we can also do a bunch of gyoza bag cuts from these. And I hope everyone will be happy. I'll be happy. There's even capybara. Oh my god, there's way too many bags in here. Damn it. This is like 2 show seasons worth of cuts, I think. So that makes sense. There's a lot of new fabric in here, but there's also a lot of old fabric. There, okay. There's a little bit of charcoal in there. We've got a little bit of charcoal canvas left. But we're going to transfer into using black full time. So we'll use up charcoal where it makes sense here, but we're going to focus in on using black. I'm also going to find out if, an air fryer, does an air fryer cook mini potatoes? Well, how would you ask that? Can I air fry mini potatoes? I really want. Ooh, yep. So how do you do it? Ooh, those look tasty. Baby potatoes. That is the first ingredient. Olive oil, salt and pepper. Garlic powder. They say Italian seasoning. I don't have that, and I'm not buying seasoning. Okay, so it looks like you have to like trim them up. Yeah, into halves or quarters. Largest ones, cut potatoes into chunks. Oh. For extra flavor, put the reduced potatoes, I like how it's reduced potatoes, in a bowl of cold water and allow them to soak for around 30 minutes. The more you know. It helps remove excess starch. I did know that, but I didn't know that like doing that, I guess it would make them crispier, right? So, season. And then preheat and cook the potatoes. For small cubes or skinny slices, cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. For thicker cuts or wedges, cook for 20 to 25 minutes. Cool. We are not making a tote bag out of this one. This one's going to become gyoza bags later. Decided. Yes, tote bag. This is the last of that really bright polar bear comic book fabric. Whoa, that was a glitch. And then we'll make a gyoza bag out of the other one. Yes to the little Frenchies with bone, like dog bones. This will look really good with the framing. We are Monday the 23rd. Shindig is on the 19th. I want to also be experimenting with what do I have on the whiteboard. Tote bags were the number one thing. Reversible drawstring bags, and they are all ironed and ready to sew. Kato's question mark. Vinyl embroidery and cross stitch bag is actually quite a ways down. grime guards, but we've got lots of grime guards. Nothing's moved recently. Cake cozies could go in there, as well as the needle books. So the number one thing was tote bags. I think we should see how many are here, and then we'll decide if I'm going to pare down or not. Aiming probably for about 25 to 40. I know that's a huge range. There's my other water bottles too. Water bottle. I don't know why that is so funny to me, but it really, really is. Tote bags. Definitely tote bag for these guys here. Cannot unsee cats. I don't know why that cut's in there. I think that's actually a small box bag cut. The bow cat with the ribbons, 100%. There's some older fabric here with the florals. We'll definitely make that into, that's going to make an absolutely spectacular gyoza bag as well. Actually, so I think what we'll do is we'll pair up. I said that we'll be doing the other things, but I think we'll actually do a lot of gyoza bags for Shindig as well. I got to remember how I figured out directional for gyoza bag. This is housekeeping cat. Some of the last of the fabric. The black florals. The little Frenchies with hats. We definitely have more than 25 here. Shock. Okay, so those are both good candidates. I think the red will probably go with black better, but this gray one is a really good candidate for using charcoal. We've got the tiger, so that one's definitely going to get black on the bottom. I think we'll just make 2 tote bags out of this because that's going to make a really nice tote bag. There's the Japanese kimono print here. Snow White. Budgies on like this aqua. They're very bright budgies and it's a very light fabric. I think that the charcoal will wash it out though. Excuse me. So I think we'll go with black for this one. It could go either way. I think black will be a better contrast. And then there's some fabrics you've been seeing the past few days, which are these Mount Fuji's, and that's going to be a really nice gyoza bag as well. Capybara Professor. Called them Professor Capybaras because of the glasses that they're wearing. Crowned cats. Definitely a black base bag. Or little royal cats, whichever you prefer calling it. This is going to become 2 tote bags. Stray cat. Fat cat. This cat always reminds me of Remy. This one right here. It's a little round body and a little like chubby tub. Because Remy was not a small cat. He liked his food. Piano cats. Looks like I've got 2 tote bags cut for this carousel print, which is awesome. This one's going to need to be fussy cut, I think. Maybe not. Where's the blah de blah? Where did I put I don't know why I put it there, but all right. Ding. Oh, no, it's going to be just right on the edge. So this one will end up right at the perfect height. And then that one will end up just at the top, kind of by the zipper. If I cut it right. And then this one will be fine. And that one will be fine too, barely. Whew. Okay. And I think we'll set this one aside and we'll actually make a couple large box bags because I have not cut it yet. I think I was probably debating, oh, maybe I did. Did I cut it to the width? Oh, shit, I did. Okay, never mind. It's a very large print, and I think I was debating probably doing a kato, but it's quite... I guess what we could do is we could still cut a large box bag out of it. Yeah. Because I do have enough fabric over there to do the handles and everything like that. So we'll decide on that one in a little bit. Pink piano cat. Parasols. And then we've got a bunch here of stuff that's already cut down to width. Wisteria cats and another ribbon cat. Ribbon cats will make some cute gyoza bags, so I'm not overly worried. The cats are back in town. Patchwork cats. Cats amongst roses, but it's folded together, so I'm not going to take it apart. Ooh, but that one's still large box bag size because I don't have any more fabric to make handles. That's why it's here. This one is practically done. Damn it. Why are you in here? Okay, I know I set this aside for Knit City. Oh, because I fucked up and sewed the interfacing in. Okay, so what we'll do in this case is we're going to trim it at the tote bag line, and then I'll sew the stuff on the canvas. That's what I was going for. I got there eventually. Brains. The brains aren't cooperating. I think these should become... So there was definitely intentions for some of these to become luxe tote bags. And I think we're still going to go for that. I think with the luxe tote bags, I do want, like, we're still going to do the canvas base, but I am going to do a skinnier canvas base because I think that'll look more elegant. The other way I could do it is I could do it as a waxed canvas base. Ooh, as a luxe tote with like the leather and like waxed canvas base and everything like that. That would actually probably look absolutely spectacular. And then they get like a canvas lining and card pocket, and they're just a fancier bag basically. That would make sense. This is going to be a flippin' adorable gyoza bag. It's also going to make some super cute other bags. And we do have enough here as well for multiples. So we'll sort that out for tote bags too. I do think the wax canvas is actually the answer there. Patchwork cats. Got some more dusty floral wreath cats. This one, which is that really large fan print. I may have a bit more of this, but I don't think there's a lot of it. And then we've got the 2 crane fabrics here as well. Obviously I was cutting and then never got around to a lot of these. That's what ended up happening. So now, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. This one for sure will get done because there's so little work to do before it. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Is there 21 there? Yeah, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. And there are duplicates in here that will be shuffled to luxe tote bags. So I guess we've got the exact amount that we're just going to finish here, ignoring all the other new fabrics that have been cut down to the proper size. Shh. That's fine. Okay. I think the majority of these will also go with black. I think this guy here will go with charcoal. Yes. Okay. There's a few that will go with charcoal. So that guy, I think most of these are just going to look better with black. Because like the charcoal in most of these cases just like washes out the actual colors. There's a few that it might pair up with. And so probably what'll end up happening is the charcoal that we have right now is going to last a very long time. Like too long, but that's okay. Doom, 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 doom. Oh, I do like it with that. Okay. So I think the rest of it is black. Oh, this guy, I was going to test out the gray Frenchies with the blue hats. And then, nope, black as well. Coolio. Oh, what about this guy? With the gray. Yes, because the black would be a little bit overwhelming since it does have so much white negative space. I'm going to ignore that later when I only am working with black, but I've got it right now, so we may as well incorporate the charcoal. I need a seam ripper. If you're like, Katie, where the hell have all your seam rippers go? I don't know. I had like 3 in here, and now I think the bin got moved. Oh, wait, are they right here? Did I just cover them up with all of the... Nope, that's a bin of other things. The X-Acto knife should go up here. There's my fray check. That would be the next question, is where's my fray check? I'm going to put that in the cart down here. Seriously, though, they were in a bin on the desk, and now I don't see them. So I just got to step out into the sewing studio to grab a seam ripper, because what we got to do now is seam rip all these open again. And then we'll start cutting them down after that, depending on the time. It is 4 o'clock. The debate now becomes, I think I'm going to make food when we get home, because those chicken things aren't very good unless they're fresh. So, yes, I will deal with small children being angry about food. Or I could just make them pizza pops. Nope, I don't have enough pizza pops for that today. And I am going to sit down for this. Ugh. My body is like, you have done a lot. Ooh, that's not good. Knocked my iron over. Okay. It's not like hot. And I'm not that worried that if I like melt my carpet, but for the iron not sitting on it if I can avoid it. Alrighty, so the next that we do, can I zoom you in so that I don't have to like worry about this so that you can see stuff? Zoom, I think that's too close. Okay, I think that's 75, 78. Looks like 78 is probably good. Can you get tweet? Okay, so when I first started using that whole like longitude thing, once I figured out how to actually get it done, it had like a little like push button so that you could push the camera up or down when it was zoomed in like this. It is long gone. I'm like, where the hell did it go? That was one of the best features, was just being able to like nudge the camera around, and you can't see anything anyway. So let's go back out. I guess I could actually move the camera, but that's not happening in this last hour. I will not be on tonight because I do actually have to clean the house. Cleaners are coming tomorrow. They're supposed to come when Dallas was home on vacation, which was awesome because then he could help tidy up the house. But the scheduler messed up, so tomorrow it is. I told the kids that they have to help me tidy up though, so hopefully they will tomorrow. And I'm going to try and get a significant portion of it done tonight anyway. Because like dishes and laundry and stuff that doesn't involve the kids, so that there's not quite as much work to do tomorrow. All right, now, so for in this case, because this selvage is so wide, we're going to actually use this piece for the exterior. And this piece is going to be revamped into that gyoza bag. I gotta remember, I think we just cut it in half and seamed it, and then that made the, and then we can do a directional one, right? I think so. So both of those pieces actually need to be cut in half. Haha. This one does not. It just goes over like, well, it needs to be cut in half, but this one will, the gyoza part of it will not. Okay. You'll just need to be trimmed down to square up. So, okay, so that was all that needed to be seam ripped there. Okay, so it was a good decision to move on to this because not a lot of thought required, just seam ripping. Making sure I don't stab myself. I'm still burnt from my steam press from before Catfest. I didn't think I had gotten myself this bad, and then it like blistered, and yeah, it's gross. That is actually one thing I did notice though, so I knew my shoes were dying the slow death of like way too many kilometers on them, or a significant number of kilometers on them. But yesterday it was like, they're done. I knew they were done in Canmore because they gave me a blood blister, and like these shoes have never actually given me a well, okay, they've given me blisters on some of the long runs, but I've also been running a lot on them, obviously, since last year, so. But yeah, I think they died yesterday. They were just like, all right, we're done. Because you kind of lost, it felt like they almost like lost any spring that they had left and stuff. So I'm going to limp them along, and me in them, on the treadmill probably for the rest of the year. Because most of my runs now are like days that the kids are home. So it'll be a lot of treadmill running, except for my longer runs outside, which I think right now are capping out around 10K. So it's not even that long, really. Some days though, that's still like really hard to get motivated and out for. That's for damn sure. I'm going to stack all of these underneath the gray, and then we're going to stack all the blacks on top. That sounded horrible. And then this one's not directional, so we're just going to pop any non-directional gyoza bags down, and we will deal with squaring them up later. This one has far too many, so I think what we're going to do, this one's also going to be directional for a gyoza bag, so it's going to need to be cut in half. Gyoza, tote, luxe tote, and we'll figure out the dimensions for the luxe tote later. Like I said, so this the tote bags themselves take up like this much fat. Yeah, so the tote bags, the actual like canvas is about that much. So I think for the luxe tote, we should shrink it down to about that much. So half of what we use on the tote bags, just to make it less large of a frame. I think. I don't know yet. We'll decide that soonish. Now, is this one even going to work that way, or does it just going to become tote bags? No, it can work. There's enough cat there. Okay. And that's going to be a super cute gyoza bag. Actually, this one has to become the tote bag, I think. Let's see. Yeah, we're still good. Okay. It doesn't need to be cut in half. And then there's a nice lining piece for the tote bags. And then doom, doom. Now, the questions become for this one. Do we want to do tote bags or do we want to do kato bags? Because the cut is such that I could do kato bags. And we do have a cat on both sides that would work. Kato. Kato, kato. And then this one becomes a, excuse me, a tote bag. Yeah, we can make that work. Basically justify one on this side and then justify another one on, actually, yeah, both to this side. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. If you weren't already cut to be this, you could have been other bags. Damn it. I haven't set anything aside for these for luxe yet. So let's do a luxe. Okay, and then I've already got one set aside for gyoza bag and one set aside for tote bag, but I think we should do 2 tote bags. Yep, we got a good amount of cat there. Another gyoza bag. A luxe tote bag. A tote bag. And a gyoza bag. A luxe tote. No. Tote bag. Gyoza bag. Oh yeah, gyoza bag for sure. Actually, no, we're gonna swap those 2. And then, excuse me. Apparently, I still have a dry throat from yesterday. Wait, am I setting enough aside for luxe tote bags? Because they actually do need 2 pieces. I am not. Okay. So that's where a couple of the duplicate have to go. Okay. Because it's like you need 2 pieces for a luxe tote bag because I won't be cutting. Like these get all cut in half for the tote bag now. But that's not what is happening for the luxe tote. So they need 2 pieces again. Okay. That one does not work for a tote bag at all. I think, no, because that ends up with the cat right in the middle. Okay, so there is another luxe tote. Simply for cat placement. Hi, Delia. Meow. And then that one can become a tote bag. Okay, so the interior one for sure for a tote bag. And then, will this work for a gyoza bag? I think with placement, because realistically you end up with a bag like this. Yeah, you'd end up with a cat right on one of the seams heading up to the handles. Yeah, I think we're good. Because it doesn't tuck, well, it still kind of ends up in the bottom middle, but not anything too bad, so. Although, is this one better? I think it might be. Ding. Nope. No, that's not good at all. You don't see any cats on top. Okay, actually, you know what? We're just going to make both of those into a tote bag. Whatever. Oh my goodness, so much fabric. So many bags, so little time. Actually, this one looks like it would make a freaking fantastic gyoza bag because you basically end up with cats on each corner. Look at that. That is spectacular. Sorry, gasp. So yes, you end up with like cats on all four of the corners that you fold in for a gyoza bag. Which means I'm going to probably do that with both pieces just because there's cats on each corner. Yep. There's one that isn't completely on the corner, but whatever. We can deal with that. So sue me. Please don't sue me. Okay. So we already have one of these in here, but now we can duplicate, or we can do another one for reasons. That one doesn't end up with any cats on top, so there's a tote bag. This one actually looks like it might have cats in the 4 quadrants. Will you see those cats? You get like a cat butt and you get a cat face. What's the other one that's down here actually? Get out of here. can just do the fold up test right now. Let's see. Yeah, see, so none of these really end up with the cat on top. Okay, so those will both end up being Luxe Tote as well. What about you guys? What would you? No, probably not. Just make sure. Nope. Okay, tote bags all around. What about the black version? Doom, no cats. Doom, no cats. This is a very large print, so it's not that surprising. Should actually make sure that we even get any cats at all, to be honest, with the tote bags even. Nope. All right, so the majority of those become Luxe. And then we've already got one of these in there. That's fine. Gyoza tote. Okay. Definitely a tote bag. But, or do I want to make it a Luxe tote? Or do we want to make this gyoza? Again, these cats are not ending up on top very well. Right? No cats without heads. Seriously. Yeah. No, that'll make a good gyoza bag. Okay, so gyoza and a tote. Definitely a gyoza and a tote, but this will need to be cut in half. Luxe tote bags from the Cranes, because this is, yeah, gorgeous. Gorgeous. And actually, let's do a Luxe tote bag from the Tigers instead of a tote bag. Always, yeah. Yeah. All right, we are getting into the territory of the ones that need to be actually seam ripped. Like how I'm like, we'll seam rip these, and then I'm like, no, we're just going to end up matching them up apparently. That's okay. It's all going to work out. Okay. Doom. 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 Yeah. Definitely a gyoza bag. And then we'll do a tote bag, gyoza bag, tote bag. Cannot unsee cats. Nah. Why would I hide them away? Cute, but needs to be cut in half. And then a tote bag. I did get complaints that, well, not really complaints, but mentions that people didn't like the black twill in the bag because they can't see anything. And I'm like, yep, I 100% agree, but this is what I had on hand. So when I go to reorder twill, just make sure that I reordered like a natural color twill. Natural. Like the unbleached or something like that. Because I don't want to have to interface those bags if I don't have to. And yes, I could still do them with like a cotton or something like that. Or yeah, line them with Japanese fabric. But I like the twill. I like the texture that it goes to. Okay. Apparently, the sewing for Shindig is all just about repurposing everything. I'll take it, but it is kind of funny. Yeah, I think the twill is just a good option for it. All right, so once these are actually all seam ripped and like placed where they need to be, I am actually going to head out because if I can pre-cook a couple of things for dinner, we'll do it. 410, I don't know if I'll be able to, but I can at least like season the, like prep and season the potatoes and stuff like that. So actually that should get a charcoal as well. Yeah. Because the Grello. Was there anything in there that I need? Did I accidentally put the like Frenchy heads in and not seam rip it? It's not a big deal. I'm just realizing, I'm like, wait, did I seam rip the other version of this? I don't remember. Oh well. This one's definitely going to get red handles. So I guess after this it'll be, so I know that these are all black canvas bases, and then we'll do the matching up of the webbing to these afterwards. Or like next, I guess. I probably won't be online tonight. Actually, I'm going to say that I won't be online tonight. I might go in and try sewing that bag. Just to actually confirm that I'm on the right path, even though I've already cut them all down. But I want to attempt to get a good night's sleep tonight. Plus, I want to actually get some of the tidy up done tonight so that I don't have to worry about it in the morning. I was like, then I don't have to set an alarm, but I totally have to set an alarm because they're going to be here early, so. This fabric's like, you want to take us apart? Haha. Okay. Now, what did I say with these? That they were both going to become tote bags, right? I think so. All right, nice, like, very traditional Japanese pattern here with the stars. I'm sure there's a name for it, but I do not know what it is. I just know it's a traditional pattern. That apparently seam rips perfectly fine for like 80% and then like goes, haha. Also, I do think we're under 40 bags now, which is pretty awesome, to be honest. Since I like redistributed to Luxe tote bags. Should actually do the Luxe tote bags in time for Christmas events. Why do some of these seam rip so nicely and the other ones are like, yeah, cackle in my face as they like refuse? I don't get it. Because it must be partly like the weight of the fabric and stuff like that. But seriously, that seam ripped so nicely and so easily. This one, that fabric obviously heard. It's like I better behave myself. This one did not hear the rumors of behaving. There we go, kinda. Ugh, come on. Ah. I'm gonna set this aside actually for a few days because I did get a custom order request for the piano cat pink, but I didn't have enough of the fabric. So I'll message the woman and be like, okay, I found enough that we could do the drawstring if you want it still. I don't need both pieces, but yeah, I'll just keep it aside for now. Same as this one as well in case it was the red, because I honestly can't remember right now. Okay, there we go. All right, stray cat now. Okay, so is stray cat actually going to get? Oh yeah, stray cat, fat cat on one side, lean cat, stray cat on the other side, okay? And then if we make it a gyoza bag. No, we will not make a gyoza bag, so we'll just make 2 tote bags out of this guy. Easy peasy. Royal cat will definitely become tote bag and gyoza bag. Oh yeah, I definitely do actually want to get as much done as I can because I want to go for a walk with the kids. So what is it? Slice the little mini potatoes, oil and season, and then we'll bake. Yeah, you can just bake the chicken breasts, chicken things right away. Okay, actually, will we end up? Yep. Yep. And then there's a capybara on the bottom. Good enough. Okay. This one's becoming tote bags and a gyoza bag, mostly because this is like such a Japanese fabric. It's amazing. It's very tempting to just make gyoza bags, but we'll resist. I think the tote bag in that will look really good too. Actually, I'm pretty sure it does because I think I've sewn one before. These budgies are also going to become a tote and a gyoza. And then finally, Snow White, which also become a tote and gyoza, but tote and gyoza, but it's going to need to be cut in half. So we will put it onto the tote pile so that we do that. Since it's a directional fabric, and I want it to be the correct directions, where we can make it be the correct directions. Thank you. Is it actually because it needs to be this way maybe? All right, last one, and then I'm gonna go make dinner. Haha. Oh, got thwarted by backstitching. There we go. And actually, let's just test this out to see if I do need to, because it all depends on what ends up actually going in where. Actually, we aren't going to directionality that because that is actually fine. Sweet. All right, so that is the end of work today, which was not very long, but actually we got quite a bit done. Tonight, I'm not going to be on stream, but I am going to come down and try to sew that vinyl bag, just, yeah, to confirm we're good to go. And then the rest of that stuff can be prepped then. Next time. Yeah, we probably have 2 or 3 more streams before we actually, or 2 probably full work days before we actually get to the sewing machine. Because if we're doing the vinyl and the tote bags and the gyoza bags, we've got quite a bit more still to cut. Along with with those needle books as well. Anyway, dinner time making. I will be back on at some point. Best way to find out is to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, that'll let you know exactly when I'm actually online, or follow me on Instagram because I always post a link on my Instagram page as well. Like I said, I don't think I'll be on tonight. I'm pretty sure I won't be on tonight, but you never know. So keep an eye out, and I'll chat with y'all very, very soon. Thanks for